What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, December 13th, 2019. December 13th, a beautiful day to be alive. Appreciate you coming by. If you're still out there in crypto world, crypto world, Bitcoin world, slowing down. People are bored. It's just the bottom line. If you're still out there, though, hit my channel, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you coming by. In this video, going to talk about Bitcoin longs, right? I've been in Vancouver. We just got back at like 6:30 today in the morning. I'm tired, but I want to do a video. I know there's been other content about this. The long chart, you see it here looking crazy. So I want to do a quick video about it. Is it hinting at a dip? And I'm going to give you some context to that. So obviously, you might be aware, maybe you're not. Bitcoin longs hit record high on Bitfinex. Long squeeze incoming. It does at this point kind of seem more likely, right? What's up, Jay? Auto Spray Bristol, Anthony M, Stream Elements. Appreciate you guys coming by. What's up, Simon? Hit the like button if you're here. The number of Bitcoin long contracts on margin trading platform Bitfinex has exploded in December to reach the highest levels in years, far exceeding the levels of Bitcoin's late 2017 bull market. Okay, that's fine. There's a chart. Let's continue. Traders currently hold more than 43,000 long positions worth $299 million on Hong Kong-based Bitfinex. The ratio is overwhelmingly skewed in favor of the bulls, who hold 87.1% of all positions. Bulls are long on Bitcoin. That's fine. I'm long on Bitcoin. I bet you a lot of you are long on Bitcoin. But is a long squeeze incoming? I like this short, concise article, by the way, Johnny Emsley. Nice job. Well played. In all likelihood, a break below $7,000, the support level, the 20-day trading range, could stop out many of the long holders on Bitfinex and place a substantial amount of sell pressure in the market. I agree. It's totally possible. And I'm going to show you the charts, why it almost seems like it would just make sense. A nice little dip. Small breakouts to the downside can lead to highly explosive price movements, collapsing price as leveraged long holders outrun their margin and exacerbate declines. Considering the colossal number of long contracts on Bitfinex, the platform's low level of leverage may be a saving grace for Bitcoin bulls. So they have low leverage compared to things like BitMEX, which I think is 100x leverage, and that's kind of what he's talking about. So let's look at this. I'm going to make this extremely simple in terms of the charts. The title of the video is is there another dip coming for Bitcoin? And this is what it's going to look like from my perspective, even technically. So here's this look at the chart though. This long chart looks ridiculous. Like, we're talking from 23rd of November. It's just daily green candles on this long chart. So a long squeeze is looking like it's setting up. To the eye, right? You look at this chart. But I want to show you this. So say this happens, right? And I wanted to try and take some data from the charts and compare it to another similar time when Bitcoin was kind of, making a similar move, right? It's not as daily green, but back in October 2018, over a year ago, into December, we have longs piling on, right? And just for context, let's go to the chart here. October to December. So October to December, this is a weekly chart on Bitcoin. Here it is, October to December. Here's October, boom, to December. Boom, right? So all up in here, right? You see this move in Bitcoin. That was the bottom of the bear market. This is what it looked like on this long chart. This long chart, by the way, is extremely deceiving, and so is the short chart. So take it for what it's worth. I'm just sharing the data with you and, make your own judgments. But going into December, meaning going into the bottom of the bear market right here, you see longs piling on, right? And then boom, bottom of the bear market. So we have a similar situation where longs are piling on, right? And am I saying we're going to get a bottom of the bear market? No. But what I am saying is we possibly it almost seems likely Bitcoin is going to take a dip. It's going to dive, right? And if we take that and we say, well, what would that look like on the chart? This is what I'm thinking, and I want to share this with you because this plays into really what we've talked a lot about just during this extremely boring phase of Bitcoin, which is a higher low. We're looking for a higher low of Bitcoin. We wonder, is it going to be here like where we are right now, right around the 50 moving average on the weekly? Will it be lower, right? So higher low from the bear market low. So this is what I'm talking about. So if this long chart does consolidate back down, some longs get liquidated, Twitter goes crazy. It's going to be an absolute circus over there if it happens. But if it happens, that's what it's going to look like. And Bitcoin will dip massively. So we can get some context to what that might look like. So we take a bear market low, we get this swing high we had in June, $14,000 or so, and we say, where are we looking at for a beautiful looking higher low for Bitcoin when all of this is said and done? And really, this Fibonacci channel goes down to around $5,300. So could this be an environment where some longs get liquidated, we get a dip on this chart, and we're taking a dip, a consolidation, down to this lower range, right? $5,300, maybe even lower, maybe some capitulation into the 4,000s, right? Right down here is the 200 weekly moving average. Right there is around 4,900, right? So are we setting up for something like that? I'll say this. It would not be a bad thing at all. What we're looking for in Bitcoin is continuation. And when you have continuation, number one, requires patience, but number two, it requires extreme volatility. If you're zoomed out on the charts of Bitcoin, and we can zoom out on the parabolic chart, right? That is all Bitcoin is 100% volatile all the time. And if you can't be prepared for that volatility, and if you can't be ready for it or comfortable with it, you're probably in the wrong space. That's my opinion. So $5,300 to me, to many people, actually right now, $7,200 sounds terrible. And people are just like, I mean, Twitter's so boring, right? There's like interaction on Twitter has gone down like 80%. Things have slowed down in the space, and that's just because Bitcoin's trading at $7,200. People are starting to doubt, and that's what always happens. And it always happens when we're at this part of a chart on Bitcoin. And where we are on this chart is we're at the bottom range, right? Similar to the bear market bottom, the bear market low. You look at the RSI momentum of Bitcoin. We're down here, close to oversold. We are oversold on the stock RSI, the quicker moving momentum oscillator. And people are fed up. People can't stand it. People are here for gains. They want to see Bitcoin green candles. And if there's no green candles, then it's boring. And that's kind of what we have going on, I think, just in the space in general. And really, if you get on Twitter, it's just mostly people arguing, talking trash about each other. And it's kind of silly. It actually is indicative of how early we are because that stuff still happens so prevalently. But I digress all of that to say a Bitcoin dip would really absolutely make sense at this point. Even when you're looking at the RSI, the stock RSI, Bitcoin hanging around down here a little bit longer, right, is not a bad thing. That's opportunity to accumulate. If you think Bitcoin is a solid play in terms of your own risk assessment, meaning Bitcoin, if this parabolic long-term trend continues, you're going to do very well by accumulating at these levels, and you're comfortable accumulating, you're not spending more money than you can afford to lose, then you're in a good position. Like, we're under $10,000 right now. We could potentially, if this plays out like what I'm saying, and we actually visit the bottom of the symmetrical triangle, even at the bottom of this Fibonacci range, 5,300, 5,000, whatever, that price is ridiculous to me. That is the buy the dip scenario that I'd be looking for, right? Did I buy dips here? Yeah. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm not gonna sit and take the risk of not getting some $7,000, $8,000 Bitcoin. Of course, I bought some. But this is like the heavy, crazy buy zone. This is like I know my own risk tolerance. I will buy a lot of Bitcoin down here zone for me. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin's going to do two things. And we can zoom out on this chart to get an idea. And this is really it. Extreme contrast analysis. In each situation, are you prepared? Meaning, in this situation, right? Are you prepared? And we have a breakout target. Really, if you look at the symmetrical triangle, it's literally like in the $100,000 range, right? We look at this orange symmetrical triangle, but we have a breakout target to the downside that is also literally like $500. So when you're looking at this chart, you can do technicals on the 4 hour and the daily, and you can do all these types of scenarios. But at the end of the day, I think this is the question to ask. And this is an illustration on the screen of Bitcoin. Is it going to fail or is it going to moon? It can do either or. Like, that's the risk that is at hand right now. So from there, just make up your decision on what you want to do. How much risk do you want to take, right? It is kind of a gamble because nobody knows. But the upside potential in the continuation of Bitcoin, right? We've had consistency and continuation in Bitcoin since the beginning. And if that continues, the potential for gains is wild. It is wild. And by the way, this is a long-term trend of Bitcoin I posted back in December. And you can see we're on pace, like literally. Like this line right here. Look at that. I did this in December. Bitcoin's like on pace. We're right at the 50-week moving average. What's going to happen next? Maybe we do come down a little bit more, right? Maybe it's spring 2020 and people are still freaking out. And Twitter is just like, you know, that's Twitter. I mean, that's Twitter now, but it's going to be like that even worse if it's spring and we're at $5,000. That's for sure. If you don't have patience, you're going to drive yourself crazy in this market. But I think there is a correlation here. I think, we do get some hints in potentially what could be happening right now. When this long chart is getting like this, you know what's coming next. You kind of do. I'd be surprised if in, let's see, 2-3 weeks from now, we're like up here. I'd be very surprised, but it'd be actually pretty exciting to do a video like that if that does happen. Do I think it's going to happen? Not necessarily. I think we're getting ready for some type of dip. I think we're getting ready for some type of panic scenario. I would love for that not to happen. I want Bitcoin to go up just as much as you do. On a more zoomed out version, we have a huge pattern there in the orange, the symmetrical triangle. Zoomed out, we have kind of a smaller wedge that we could stay in. We can consolidate in. We can even consolidate down. This is a daily chart, right? Going into Christmas time right around here. We could be at $6,500. People still freaking out. So we could still have some downside. It's just, when is that event going to happen that might liquidate some of these longs, where we get some, crazy consolidation and we get a crazy breakout and we're talking boom out of this wedge right down to, the $5,000, $4,500 capitulation range. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Time will tell. We have to watch. It's something to be prepared for. I'm prepared for it. I'll be buying. If that happens, I don't foresee Bitcoin being there very long. Listen, at the end of the day, Bitcoin isn't just like this magical thing that's trading and you can invest in. Bitcoin's use case in changing the world on so many levels is just there, right? And so when you're trying to determine the value or the price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is invaluable. And I tweeted this earlier. So Bitcoin price will catch up to what it should be worth. And that is a supply and demand question that will be answered. But right now we're seeing a lot of manipulation and we have to deal with it. We see a lot of volatility, but nothing is new there. So be prepared for every scenario. All in all, when you zoom out on the charts, Bitcoin is completely on track, on course. It's not behind at all. If anything, it's ahead of the game. It's ahead of kind of where we were at this time last cycle, right? We've already tested this Fibonacci retracement. The question is, will we get back up there, and when will that happen to test that Fibonacci retracement area, $13,000 up to $16,000. That's the doorway to the bull market that you want. Time will tell. If you're here right now, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, if you're holding, if you're patient, hit the like button. I really appreciate you coming by. I wanted to do a video because it's been so long, and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I really do. If anything happens, I'll be sure to do another video. Probably try and get a video out this weekend as well, but wanted to share my thoughts on everything going on right now. Appreciate you. If you're here, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And I will see you in the next video. God bless.